I'm Dominique D'Vita with YesTantra.com, and today I'm going to talk with you about penis size and why men so often think the size of their penis matters, and I'm going to share with you what really matters when it comes to having amazing, amazing sex. I am a registered nurse and certified Tantra coach, and I've also been a pro dominatrix when I lived in LA for several years. And so men always would come to me as a pro dom, and sometimes they would want to be humiliated about the size of their penis. And I think all that stems from men being so concerned about the size of their penis, and it impacts their lives, not just in the bedroom, but outside the bedroom as well. I'm here to tell you that it's not the size that matters. My mom, when I was younger, she would tell me, it's not the size of the ship, it's the motion in the ocean. But even more than that, it's not the size of your penis, it's how long can you last during sex and how long can you deeply connect during sex. And I'm going to explain a little more about how important these two things are. Now first, if you're worried about how long you're going to last during sex, I remember one time I had a partner that I was with, and it was going to be the first time we were going to be together, and he was really nervous about it. So when I was with him, I had like 20 orgasms. It was amazing. And afterwards he shared with me, he's like, I was trying so hard not to come too quickly that I was thinking of math equations in my head. And for him, I know he was thinking like guaranteed. I'm definitely, 20 orgasms, definitely when I want to be with her again, she's going to want to be with me. But I never did. Even decades later, he still will bring this up, and I've never wanted to be with him again. As I dove in deeper into understanding Tantra, I could understand more why this was, and it was that he was not connecting to me when he was having sex. Yes, physically, he was connecting with me and he was inside my body, but he was not being able to connect with me on a deeper level. He was not able to have intimacy with me. And a lot of times as women, we're very, very intuitive. So when a man is kind of distracted and in their mind, and they're not really fully present with us, it literally feels like the man is masturbating inside of our body. And it's almost offensive and insulting in a way. And so sometimes if you're wondering like why your woman isn't really craving sex as often as you are, you need to pay attention to these things, because we can tell when it's almost like a masturbation session for you and just a release, and you're not really fully present and you're not able to connect with us. So being able to have that intimacy and that connection is some of the things that's going to help you with that is some of the white Tantra practices where you learn how to have a more meditative mindset, because your brain is your largest sex organ. So whenever you can have a more meditative mindset and you're able to drop in and be fully present with yourself and connect deeply with yourself without being distracted by the thoughts of the day, you're also able to have this presence and connection with another partner. My first Tantra experience, one of the main takeaways I got from that experience was he was able to deeply connect with me, and I could tell that he wasn't distracted or worried about anything else. He was fully present and honoring and connecting with me on a level that I never experienced before. In addition to that, since he had learned other things with Tantra, he was able to last and have stamina for hours. There are tantric practices that teach men how to separate their orgasm from their ejaculation so that you can have stamina for hours, be multi-orgasmic, and also not be drained after you have sex. Because ejaculation is something that drains your life force, your energy from you. That's why men so quickly fall asleep right after sex. Well, that won't be a challenge for you with tantric practices, but these practices take a while to learn. But this partner that I was with, he was able to last for hours, and I could just feel energetically in his body, I could feel that I didn't even need to worry that if my turn on or my pleasure, my arousal was getting too big and I was like really enjoying myself and not holding back, that I wasn't gonna push him to the tipping point to where he was gonna come too quickly. So often as women, we can sense this. We can sense your fear, your worry, your concern about if you're gonna orgasm too quickly, and then we feel that as well, and it slows us down, and then we slow things down because we're like, okay, we don't wanna push you past that tipping point. Now, whenever I was able to be with this man that had perfected these practices, and it doesn't have to be perfect, but he had mastered these practices, and whenever I was able to be with him, I was able to just really experience these prolonged states of pleasure and really get tapped into my body and what my experience was without me being distracted with, is my experience causing him to, come too quickly? Is he feeling stressed or concerned about that? And is he distracted, and is he kind of masturbating my body, or is he fully connected? Well, this person is a meditation teacher. He was able to be fully present with me, deeply connected, and it was like an honoring of the goddess. And I was just able to continue to have these prolonged ecstatic states of pleasure that really shifted my consciousness and my awareness, and I had an awakening. And that was not my goal. My goal was just to have an amazing sex. I had no intention and no expectation that this was going to be a life-changing event for me, but this is when I say I experienced my first soulgasm, and it literally changed the whole trajectory of my life path. And when I had this experience, I knew that I had to teach this to both men and women so that they could be aware of what's fully possible for them. Because I've been experiencing amazing sex for decades. I was already a multi-orgasmic woman. I had already been having sex better than most of my peers. And so much so that my peers were telling me I should write a book about it. And telling me that the sex tips that I had taught them had saved their marriage. So I'm like, oh yeah, I'm already having sex better than most people. But I really had only scratched the surface of what was possible for me. And so a lot of times people will be like, oh, Tantra, whatever, I don't think I need to know that. I invite you to tap in and discover that and see what's possible for you once you learn how to master these techniques. So more than how large your penis is or what the size of it is, how long can you stay connected? How deeply can you connect on a heart-to-heart connection? How present can you be in that moment with that person? And how long can you allow the pleasure to be sustained? Because women can have over 9 types of orgasms. We're amazing, magical, multi-orgasmic beings. So often women have challenges having orgasms, and it's not that they're not orgasmic, it's that the men do not have the staying power to last, because our arousal, our states of arousal, it takes longer for us to become aroused. So often as we're just barely getting started and being aroused and being turned on, it's already almost like game over, because the male will have already experienced a climax or an orgasm. So instead of focusing on things that really don't matter, instead of being so worried about the size of your penis and being so worried about what you see in porn and what you're trying to mimic in porn and replicate and doing acrobatics and being distracted by having performance of sex, I invite you to tap into how powerful you are to really be healing for other females on the planet, of being able to really connect with them and have an experience that transcends just something physical. So I'm going to share one quick tip with you that will really help this to land. When you see things in porn, you see a lot of really common move you see is like the kind of the jackrabbit move, everything fast, fast, fast. So I want you to just take a moment, bring your hands together and rub your hands together really quickly, really fast, right? And then stop, take some deep breaths. Now get your hands and slowly move your hands back and forth. And just notice with the slowing down how much more sensation you're able to experience. And if you breathe in deeply while you're doing this, you're going to notice even more sensation. Even if you bring your hands apart a little bit, you can actually feel the energy between the two, the connection. When you can tap into those subtle energies, one, you'll be able to tap into the energy of your partner. And even sometimes you're going to feel like your intuition kick in. You're going to be able to understand what they even desire, sometimes without them having to verbally express it, because you feel the connection, the energy of the turn on between you. But also just slowing down with sex. The female partner is going to experience so much more pleasure, and you're just really wearing yourself out, going so fast at everything. You're just exerting yourself, and it really doesn't do that much for us, trust me. So as a nurse, as someone who's experienced amazing sex, prolonged states of pleasure that have really transformed my life, someone that understands the human body, as a mature woman that's experienced so much in my lifetime, I promise you that you can experience so much more than what you think is possible for you in this moment. Don't distract yourself with thoughts of like, oh, it's about my penis size. It's not. Oh, I need to impress people with the car I drive. I need to impress people with my bank account. You can impress someone by doing your healing journey and learning how to tap into the magic and the power that is already here within you. So often we look outside of ourselves, we're searching everywhere to find the missing pieces. The treasures are here within you, and Tantra is just a tool to help you with transformation by being able to tap into the power that's already within you and showing you how to connect better within yourself and understand that, and then have better relationships with everyone around you. So having intimacy, having connection, being able to stay present, and being able to relax in states of bliss and pleasure with your partner and fully see that person and have intimacy, because intimacy is into me you see. Having eye contact, holding a gaze. How often are we able to have sex but we're not able to have eye contact? How often can we have sex and fuck someone but we can't talk to someone about what we truly need or what we desire? We have all these walls up, we have all these fears. It's holding you back from fully experiencing life. So if you're ready to experience sex and to be an amazing lover, and if you want to be someone's best lover, first be your own best lover. Learn the powerful tools of Tantra and tap into your full potential. And when you're more successful in bed, that translates to outside of bed as well. In the book by Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, it's a book published in the 1930s. And it was a book for helping people and entrepreneurs. It's almost like the Bible for entrepreneurs. And so many other books have come after that book. But chapter 11 is dedicated to sexual transmutation. It is titled Sexual Transmutation because Napoleon Hill realized that whenever you're able to tap into the power of your sexual energy, you can be more successful in life. So when you tap into this, you're increase your confidence, you're going to increase your magnetism, and not just will your relationships, your personal relationships improve, but your business relationships will improve. You'll attract better partners, better opportunities, better possibilities in your life. You're just going to become a magnet for attracting what your heart desires. If you want to learn more about how powerful you are, I invite you to go to yestantra.com and request to have a free 30-minute discovery call with me, and we can dive into what's fully possible for you and see how we can begin working together. I work with people globally through Skype and Zoom. They have amazing, amazing outcomes. I have clients that are in their 60s that were suffering from erectile dysfunction, that were on Viagra, and Viagra wasn't helping them, and now they say they're pharmaceutical free, fully functioning, and having amazing sex with their partner. They're like, my wife is happier than ever. One of my clients, he was just like, I just had an hour-long session this week with my wife. She has 8 orgasms at a time. He was like, and I feel so much power in my penis. I wish that 15 years ago I had tapped into this power. And he's in his 60s. So if erectile dysfunction is something you're struggling with, or addiction to porn, or if you're struggling with premature ejaculation, these things can be remedied with tantric practices. So I invite you to explore what's fully possible for you and stop being distracted with the size of your penis, because that's not truly what matters. I look forward to talking to you soon. Blessings and blessings.